Welcome to another episode of Engineered for Everywhere Audio, brought to you by Memphis Car Audio. I am your host, Mark Sarge Schleifer. On this episode, we're going to talk about installing a Memphis audio system in your XP Pro or your Pro R. We've got a couple of different kits to offer depending on how much sound and what you're looking for in the audio system for your machine. Also, whether it has ride command or if it's a non-ride command machine, we've got solutions to get you covered. For our non-ride command kits, we have the RZRPROPAK4, which is going to come with the SMC3. This is going to be 50 watts times 4, and it's also going to give you the ability to add an amplifier to it, which is going to be the MX400.4 amplifier, all the wiring hardware that you're going to need for this kit, your front speakers, and your rear speakers. The next kit up from that is going to be the RZRPROPAK4P, which is going to add the subwoofer to it, which is going to be an amplified subwoofer, also with all the other products that I spoke about, including the SMC3, the MX400.4, your wiring hardware, amplifier installation kit, everything that you're going to need for that system. Keep in mind, the subwoofer that we are utilizing in that kit is going to be an amplified subwoofer, which is a really, really nice part. This is going to be the RZR Pro 10 SE, and this is going to be a 350 watt subwoofer enclosure, 700 watt peak power. Your front speaker pods, those are going to be the RZR Pro 65 FE. Those are going to be a really, really nice component set utilizing tweeters up in the A-pillars and the 6.5 drivers down in the enclosures that are going to be behind the dash. Of course, as you're accustomed to, all of our products are going to be RGB lit, and even underneath the front pods, you're going to have RGB lights that are going to light up the footwell as well. For you guys that have ride command, we have the RZR Pro RZR PROPAK4P. This is going to be for your ride command, and it's going to come with a ride command harness, so you can plug right in that ride command, creating an awesome system with the products that we talked about, including the powered subwoofer, your rear speaker cans, all the wiring hardware, and everything that you're going to need. And join us as we do an installation on a Pro R. Please take a look at the list of tools needed for this installation to make sure that you have all the proper tools needed to successfully install your Memphis Audio Powersports kit. Before getting started, always remember safety first. This means we need to disconnect the battery. The battery is actually located under the front driver's side seat, so you're going to need to remove the front driver's side seat, get access to the battery, and using a 10mm socket or a 10mm wrench, you're going to want to disconnect both the positive and the negative terminals on the battery. Next, using a T40 Torx, go ahead and remove the hood. Remove the 2 push pins that are located underneath the hood area. Remove the gray trim panels on both sides of the steering column. Remove the passenger side gray trim pieces as well. Remove the center storage pocket, disconnecting the USB cable if equipped with one. Using a T20 Torx, remove the 4 glove box bolts. Remove the 7 T40 bolts on the dash. Keeping in mind that there are 2 hidden on each side of the steering column. Carefully lift up on the fenders to release the side of the dashboard. You will do this on both sides and lift the dash up and out of the way. You may want to remove the remaining seats so you can gain access to the center console. Once you have the access panels removed on the center console, you can go ahead and start laying out your wiring harness so you can get it installed. Be sure to tie up your wiring so it does not interfere with any moving parts or any parts that might be running down the center console that have any type of heat that radiate off of it. Run your wires to the back that will be used for your rear speaker cans, as well as running all the wires up towards the front for the dash, going to your subwoofer, going to your front speakers on the right side and on the left side. Using the RZRPROPAK4P ride command harness, plug this into the existing harness that you just disconnected from underneath the dash. If your machine did not come equipped with a ride command, you will be using the RZRPROPAK dash kit and the SMC3 source unit. Remove the center dash panel where the ride command would normally go. And assemble your dash kit. And install the SM3 source unit. You will need to adjust the channel button to the 4-channel position, as well as the crossover to the high pass selection, and on the sensitivity settings, set both the sensitivity settings to 3 o'clock, which is 3/4 of the way. Next, it's time to mount your amplifier. Using the MX400.4 amplifier, you will need to mount that to the MX-AMP VK amp mounting bracket, which will mount on the cross tube behind the steering column. Mount the amplifier to the amp mounting plate first, and then adjust the amplifier as needed. Now it's time to install the RZRPRO 65FE front speaker pods. The front speaker grills will be reused that came on your XP Pro or Pro R razor. You will need to remove those by unscrewing the 4 screws in the front, 2 screws in the back, and using a T40 Torx on the fender well. Once this enclosure is taken out, you will put the new Memphis audio enclosure back in its place using the existing hardware. You will do this process on both sides. Note, this is a true component two-way setup, and you will utilize the front 8-pillar pods with the replacement tweeter that comes from Memphis Audio. To start your subwoofer installation, install the 2 provided speed clips that are located on the firewall. Then take the subwoofer enclosure, bringing it up from the bottom, rotating it up into the dash area until it snaps into the cross member. Keep in mind and be very mindful not to pinch any wires during this process. Install the top bracket / clamp on the top of the subwoofer enclosure. Then, using the 2 long T40 bolts, install those on the bottom of the enclosure as needed. Those will go into the speed clips that you installed earlier in this part of the installation. After you have the subwoofer enclosure in place, everything is aligned properly, go ahead and tighten down all of the nuts and bolts that you use to install the subwoofer enclosure. Once you have that done, you can go ahead and connect all your wiring, including running the power and ground wire to the battery for the amplifier that is in this subwoofer enclosure. Now it's time to install the MXA 62PS rear Powersports speaker cans. Locate your mounting point on the back roll cage to decide how you want to mount your speaker cans and what position/angle you want to mount your cans. Then tighten up the clamps on the speaker. Once you have everything in place, go ahead and connect the speaker wires as well as the RGB cables onto the rear of the speaker cans. Then make sure that you apply the emblem on the back of the speaker cans so it is oriented in the correct position with the Memphis M going in the proper direction. Let's install the MX RGB BTC Bluetooth RGB controller. This will be installed underneath the dash in the center above the center console area underneath the radio/ride command location. It's now time to double check all your connections to make sure everything is connected and secured properly, wiring is run properly, and again, not in contact with any moving parts or any parts that might have any heat that comes off of them. Enjoy your Memphis Audio UTV Powersports sound system. Have fun, enjoy, hit the trail, and be safe out there. We thank you for your support.